Hey, this is Gnuman, and today I'm going to do a guide on Nickles' division. She is high touch, meaning you have to do a lot of micromanagement typically to use her effectively, and she's an air fighter. Her star units are the troop plane and the heavy fighter. The heavy fighter is also known as the P-38. It is considered by many to be nightmare fuel or overpowered. It was nerfed from early access.
Fly into this battle at full speed? Good, because that's how we're gonna win it.
It had a 25% damage reduction, and is considered to be balanced, and we're still heavily debating that as passionate players. So, we can start out, get a plane in the air, some troop transports. Now you don't really need the troop transports. If you're good with the planes, infantry won't be a problem for you because you can just mow them down with no effort. Unless your opponent counters your planes, which is a possibility. So I'm gonna just set this plane in a loop there so my infantry can keep pushing forward. And set another plane here for help these guys out. And then I'm going to put a guard here. While your planes are strafing, they will not defend themselves against enemy air. So it's good to have if you're not constantly watching them, and even if you are, it's good to have at least one plane here, and he will auto-attack anyone that comes near, and one plane here. Alright, so now we have our strafing run, we have our guards. Let's try to get some loot crates because we do not want to lose the loot crate advantage, no matter which general we're playing as. So we got some troops going, we got some planes backing them up. As we move forward, we're going to want to readjust the strafing run and our defenders. So see these guys moved up, I move up. Try to hold the line. I think he's going to get this one. Alright, now, as Nickel, you don't really have that much. You have a discount on your planes. They are tier 1 units instead of tier 2, they cost a little bit less. Same exact stats as everyone else, you're just saving money compared to everyone else. So, you don't have much besides the basics, and you want to upgrade your tiers as quickly as possible. Typically you're going to put out a few units, try to get some loot crates, turtle a bit probably, until you get your next tiers. Now introducing the flying troop transport, which I like to call the Paratroopers. I like to put them in a row here. Now the troops he drops are more powerful than your typical troop trucks. See these guys? Like little SMGs and whatnot? These guys have different guns, they're a lot more powerful, and every drop you get 8 of them. So this is much more formidable. They are very difficult to nuke, because if you hear a nuke coming, just move out of the way. Nukes and artillery barrage can hit them, so just move them out of the way. It's very hard for the player to get them. The AI will often suicide. See the planes? They will often suicide their planes to shoot these down. They hate these that much. So if your anti-air is really far back, like on this map, put like 1 or 2 guys in the front, because you want to keep these guys safe. They are your push. So let's build 4 of them. Notice I don't leave them in place for them to just circle around and drop whenever they feel like it. I make a loop behind my base. The reason I do that is so they're only vulnerable here when they're in front. When the enemy planes chase them to the back of the base, they get shot down. So while the spawn timer is going up, these guys are safer. Not perfectly safe, but safer, see? If you don't do that, the enemy's just gonna send some suicide fighters in, take out your expensive troop transport planes, and, well, like that. And it's a good trade for them if they spend one fighter to kill one transport. You don't want to give them that. Send them back as far as you can, and as often as you can. So they're really aggressively trying to take out my troop transports. So I'm going to actually build some more AA, because it's quite a loss of money to let them keep shooting down. Alright, we have 3. Let's check where they're going. Left side, right side. If you ever forget where each transport's patrolling, just point at them. You'll see their route. Alright, there's a cloud of planes while I wasn't looking. That took out all my strafing run planes. This is what I mean by this is high touch and you have to watch everything. So if you're actually playing the game and not making a guide, constantly look back and forth. Where are my planes? What are they doing? Are they getting attacked? If they're getting attacked, you can always pull them back into your base and let your AA demolish any chasing planes. A lot of players are getting wise to this now, but some beginner players will just run right into your base and get shot down. So take advantage of that. Now, we lost air dominance. That is not good. We are Nickles. We live for air dominance. So let's get it back.
Dropping cargo crate now.
Let's get a nice little strafing run and run back to base so that when we get chased we don't die. We might die anyway. There we go. We survived. Strafing run. Build a couple more planes out here. Try to retake our air dominance. Will he make it? Hey, guys. Need some help here. Alright. Let's use our economic advantage to take back the air. We can also use ground support with anti-air trucks if your enemy is really aggressive in the air. But this is just an AI, so this might be enough. There we go. Let's build a cloud of planes. If you're going up against AI, he's usually going to be much better at micromanaging these planes, so you're going to lose a bunch. But if you're going against a player, you are evenly matched. So let's start our strafing runs. Get rid of all those. Let our troops battle the tanks while our plane takes out the infantry. Like so. And now, we've gone over the troop transport planes and the basic air combat. We're going to bring out the P-38s. So, what you can do a strafing run on enemy armor. I like to manually do them because they die fast. I wouldn't patrol these guys, like I wouldn't have a continuous strafing run going unless you're trying to take down a tower or something, because that leaves them very vulnerable to air counters, and they're really not effective like that. Also, do not use these on infantry. It barely hurts them. Like you could be here all day, and it's not going to do anything. Just buy a couple of these guys, regular planes, send them after the infantry. Since your P-38s aren't really gonna... It's really a waste of money. I've seen a few players do that. It's just gonna waste your money. See, look. Mows them right down. Don't use P-38s on infantry, guys. They're terrible at it. So, they also aren't as good at dogfighting as your regular planes, so if you want to defend against planes, bring out your tier 1s. They're okay at dogfighting, not great. Alright, so let's take out this armor. And your strafing runs, get plenty of space for them to line up, otherwise they won't shoot. They're a little bit finicky about that. They need to, you can't just like loop them around and straight down. Sometimes it works. Actually, maybe it does work now. Okay. Yeah. I guess if you make your loops big enough, it works. Here I'm strafing them, but I'm also watching him. And now he's gonna have no troop trucks left, because he has no anti-air to stop me. Alright, your job is done, oh, wait, one more. Your job is done, P-38. Now let's push this up a little bit. Move this guy's strafing run forward. Every time our infantry advances, we're going to... Ooh, bombers. Alright. Well, that's an easy target. They can't even fight back. There we go. Alright, P-38. Tank takes about 2 passes, so I'm gonna loop him around once. Another little trick, if you want to loop him around twice, but only twice, you can make a double loop, like so. And then he'll loop around twice and then out. That's good for when you know how many hits your enemy takes to kill. And you don't want to set up a permanent loop because you have a lot of planes to manage and you don't want to accidentally leave your plane strafing and shooting nothing. He's expensive. Okay, so loop once, loop twice, and out. Sometimes it takes 3 loops. Here's our base ability. Bring forward some defending fighters. Oh, I missed him. Come on. Nuke their base a bit. Bring the strafing run forward. Oh, he is bringing out the AA. We're upsetting him a little bit.
Tower, this is Hercules. Dropping cargo crate
Watch the AA. Now, with AA, it's moving. It's a little hard to hit, but you can take out AA with P-38s.
At least one of them. What should we do about it?
Are they at my base? They're at my base. Let's put some artillery down to defend against these guys. And probably a tank there. Update our pathing a little bit. Hitting moving targets is a little tricky. There we go. Alright, if this AA is coming towards us, if we aim it just right, you have to kind of babysit a little bit if you're trying to get a precise shot. Notice how I just like slowly, I wait for the plane to catch up, and then right before I make it, then I dip down to when I'm aiming for a moving target. It's very hard to time it if you don't do that. So let's try that again. Let's go here, right at the last second, we're gonna dip down and shoot at him. It's a little easier if you go from behind him, because then he's a slower moving target, relatively to you. So anytime there's a moving target, just go behind them, you'll get an easier shot. If they're moving in circles, good luck. Moving in circles is probably the best defense against P-38s. Just always keep everything besides your artillery constantly circling. Alright, how are we doing here? We are down to 3 Paratrooper planes. So if you really want to surprise them, say you have like 8 Paratrooper planes, 4 in each lane, you can take them and send them all to one lane. They won't even notice you're doing it, because they can't see your avatar. So if you do that, say they have artillery in like this lane, like this guy does, and say I didn't have a Jeep there that could just kill him right now, which I do. He's blocking that, he's got defenses, whatever, I can't have that lane. I'm just going to send all my paratroopers the other way, because I own that lane. And your human player won't even notice you did it. All of a sudden, in about a minute or two, he's just going to get overwhelmed on that one lane that he thought he was managing. But you surprised him. Alright, so let's take out this artillery. Don't let artillery guard any of your lanes. Or enemy artillery, rather, because your infantry are powerless to pass them. Alright. He really wants to take out my troop transports with his planes. Or my P-38s. Don't let him do it. Oh, he did it. Alright, so let's take this tank out. The loop. Maybe 3 runs. Nope, that was the first run. See if we can get this without getting countered by the base artillery. And we did it. Alright. We're doing strong in this lane. And okay in this lane, so I'm going to put some artillery in the lane to help them push a bit. And to kill these towers. It's okay, because due to these strafing planes, they aren't going to gain any ground on me. So poor little bomber. Okay, so let's take this. Might take a few hits. Yep, we took a few hits. Lost a P-38. Let's see if we have any more. There we go. Here's one. I'm gonna finish that battle. Alright, let's help a little bit with these towers. Stay just out of AA range, because these P-38s are expensive. Help our troops advance. Is this out of range? Nope, it is not. I'm gonna back off. That's a job for my artillery to work on. There we go. Take out these tank destroyers. Once he stops moving, if I can draw a straight line, he's very dead. There we go. Alright, we're in the base. We're going to nuke him for good measure. And then our ground troops are going to finish him off. If you're very confident in your air coverage, you're not worried about losing your troop transports, you can move them forward a bit, like so. If you got a lot of planes, this will help you push a little bit faster at the cost of putting your transports in much greater danger. So let's see what we can do with that. Did he drop? No, he didn't drop. Come on, drop the troops. Caveat, they can't drop everywhere. So make sure they're actually dropping. There's a third lane on this space, and that's where I'm dropping them. These guys are very good for dropping in the third lane. unlike troop transports that are wide open. Alright, that's pretty much it. We won the base. We don't have much push as Nickles, so we had to rely on our ground troops and our standard artillery and whatnot, while the air covered them.
Dropping cargo crate now.
And that's generally what I do when I play Nickles, is I try to tier up to tier 4 and get those P-38s, get those troop transports, because that is your bread and butter. And you want to have those before the enemy kills you, because they will have either rocket artillery, or they're going to have, let's finish that off real quick, or they're going to have tiger tanks or tank destroyers like these guys have, infantry, etc. And they're going to punish you if you don't have your P-38s and your troop transports out.
Brilliant, Commander. You made short work of those enemy troops. It's good to work with someone who is as confident and competent as I am.
Alright, this is Gnuman. Thank you for watching my guide on how to use Nickles effectively. Hope you learned something, and have a good night or day.